everybody. Woo, man, can't believe I made it through another week. When I say this has been like a wild week, it was trying to get acclimated back to reality of work because last week was our break, right? So, for y'all that don't know, I'm TB and I'm an educator and I be living for those holiday breaks, okay? Because I don't know, what y'all profession is, but it is not easy in educator life. I'm just gonna say it, gonna put it out there, okay? But yeah, how y'all week been? How y'all week been? So hopefully y'all week have been going okay. Hey, sister.
Hi,
Hi.
you can see me?
I can see you.
Awesome.
And
Hey.
hey, honey.
Sorry, good. I'm glad that this connection worked today.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So we just started. Was about to talk about my week because
Yeah.
whew, child, whew, trying to get over a little tickle.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. How you feel? How was your week?
My week, how's my week? Not bad, not bad. I didn't really do a whole lot, you
Okay.
know. Yeah, I mean, I am excited about, the production that I got going on. But that was just on Saturday. I found out some pretty good things about, like the No Longer Bound production. We got a
Yes.
couple things coming up in February, so that's pretty exciting.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Nice.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Awesome. Yeah. I know this week was crazy. Like with the
Mhm.
weather shift and everything, child. Like
Mhm.
man. And, I spent a lot of time outside because, dismissal and all that. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it'd be cold.
Oh, like we be standing
Mhm.
outside for like 35, 45 minutes, for parent pickup.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. And I was looking like the abominable snowman. Like, I said, MT don't be playing. I said, MT does not play with the cold. Y'all already know.
Yes.
Heat and cold does not mix. I'm
Right.
just gonna say. So listen, it don't be trying to be cute for me because I'll be like I gotta be warm because I
I
can't do
know that's right.
it. Got
Mm,
to be warm up in here, okay?
yes.
Yes, yes. But I am so glad that you were able to make it. I know you
Yeah.
were going through a little thing yourself. And,
Yeah. Ain't feeling all that great today.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hold
we're
on one second.
gonna push through and make it do what it do.
Right.
So welcome in, everybody. I see we have a couple people that was in the chat. Welcome in. So today, our topic is about traditional versus non-traditional.
Hmm.
Had to chuckle with that one. Hello,
Yeah.
welcome in. I just had to chuckle with that one because I'm ready to have fun with this topic. Okay. It's so many different aspects of being traditional and non-traditional. And
Yeah.
I can say personally that I think I'm a little bit of both. So we're gonna
Mm.
dive into that and break that down a little bit, like and see where you are with it, right?
Mhm.
I got my little tea ready, okay?
Oh,
Because you know something been going on. Hey Kim, thank you for coming in.
I got the water.
I had to make my little tea. So because whatever's been going on with me and your brother-in-law, we was like really trying to get it out. Okay,
Yeah,
so hey,
I
babe,
forgot I got some tea.
yeah, yes. So I start. So this is what I be putting in, right, to try to help combat whatever is called. You see it?
Okay. Yeah, give me some of that.
Okay. Put like four like little drops in every time we make some tea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have like the peppermint, right? Do a
Mm-hmm.
drops to that. And this right here is like the really like the beast right here. The oregano oil. This stuff
Oh, yes, that's the good stuff right
it's a
there.
little different, okay? So
Yes,
it don't taste the best with all this
it burn.
it works. It
Yeah.
works. So like if you got something going on, put them things together, and whatever's happening is going to start minimizing, going to start coming up and all that. So that for me was trying to keep stuff at bay a little bit because
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford to be taken down. It's already tough working with children, and this is the season. The kids get the colds and they sneezing and coughing everywhere, and I have to do whatever I need to do to try to combat
Right, right.
all them
Yep.
germs. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's my power tea. Yeah, but
I'm gonna
let's
have to
dive.
try it.
So traditional versus non-traditional, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they say traditional refers to what is customary or conventional,
Mm-hmm.
right? While non-traditional means different from what is usual or expected.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's like how you just pulled up those herbs and things and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how, but when you think about health and healing and stuff, you know what I mean? There's like traditional way of healing. And then, so that seems very non-traditional to have the herbs and the
And that's
oregano.
very non-traditional. Yeah,
Yes.
these are these herbs. So they said an example. They said here are some examples of traditional and non-traditional in different contexts. So
Mhm.
education for one.
Yeah.
Education is structured and disciplined, right? That's
Right.
traditional. While non-traditional education can be more flexible and customized.
Like
Yeah. Like
homeschooling or
home.
Montessori schools.
Yes.
Montessori. Mm-hmm.
Prime example of non-traditional. Like non-traditional students may include part-time students, like we go
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit for the day or whatever. Like students who earned a GED, that's considered non-traditional, right?
Right.
Or
Mm-hmm.
students enrolled in programs beyond like undergrad or graduate programs, right? So
Yeah.
that's the context between traditional and non-traditional. And then they go into
Mhm.
like physical therapy, right?
Right.
Traditional physical therapy typically uses like electrotherapy, manual therapy,
Mhm.
exercise that's considered a part of physical therapy. While the alternative medicines may include like yoga,
Mhm.
Pilates, or
Mhm.
acupuncture.
Acupuncture, yes.
Yes,
Very non-traditional.
very
But I
not
guess it depends. It seemed like, maybe in certain countries, some of those things are traditional for them.
probably.
You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
Yeah. Like, what I mean? Like, I think acupuncture is considered, like Chinese medicine or something. So in their
Mhm.
country, that's very traditional.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. I remember the very first time I got acupuncture. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Like somebody had like rear-ended me like this years ago. This is like when your nieces and nephews were like really, really young. And
Mhm.
they was like, we're gonna do acupuncture, right? And I'm looking like, it's a part of like therapy for like the pain and
Mhm.
stuff, like in my back and shoulders. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I remember being like so like because
A little
they got
nervous about it.
they're very nervous. Like they had the needles and stuff. I was like, y'all about to do what with them needles? Right? I was looking, they was like, I promise you won't feel it. I remember being so nervous. Like, oh my God, they about to put some needles in my back, my shoulders, and everything.
Yes.
But the person that did it was very professional and knowledgeable. And when I say I didn't feel anything, when they put the
Wow.
needles, I didn't even
Yeah.
feel it, right? It was just
Mhm.
the nervous factor that y'all about to put some needles on, right? But yeah, but
Right.
I was getting it done like every week.
Wow. I think I had acupuncture done twice, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And I think I was, like, really nervous, and I remember feeling like, like that, like the electricity, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, kinda, like, going through my arm, and that just made me even more nervous. 'Cause I was like, "Am I supposed to feel that? Am I supposed to feel anything? Did he do something wrong? Am I gonna lose the feeling in my arm?" Oh, man, my mind was all over the place, you know what I mean? So, I would like to try it again, though,
yeah.
but yeah, it was just, like, I think, like, just that person that I went to or something, I don't know, I was nervous.
Yeah, it definitely is. Walking in, and somebody's adorable Green said they have knee surgery tomorrow. We're like, okay, good luck. Hope everything goes
Oh,
well
yes.
with your surgery. Okay,
Mhm.
thanks for joining us. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that was the one thing with non-traditional, right? So then
Yeah.
it said time management is a
Mhm.
favorite traditional and non-traditional, right? So traditional time management techniques follow like a plan, prioritize, schedule, and execute, right?
Mhm.
Oh man. So in that sense, I think I'm a little traditional because like I do like to plan and prioritize things. Execute your approach, while non-traditional techniques may include considerate, direct, or spirited styles. So like
Mhm.
you might just be like going with the flow, or just say, it just if you just gonna keep it moving, like not even gonna like be stressing about the time, just living in the moment. I was saying, like, I feel like me and you are like different in a lot of ways when it comes to certain things. You
Yeah.
know me? I consider myself like traditional in a lot of ways, but I am structured, right? I do like
Mhm.
to plan. Like if I don't feel like planned or prepared for something, I'm like, oh my God.
Mhm.
Then it's like my other senses kick in. And I'm like, okay, I have to like literally improvise right now. Okay, don't panic. Like backup
Mhm.
plan. Like make it do what it do. Like I've had so,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like
Yeah,
I
see.
I'm very good at improvising.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah,
good
it's
at
just
improvising.
like, and I'm really good, it's like like I trust in the flow. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It'd be like, sometimes, somebody be like, "Oh, what time do you have to be there?" And for me, it'd be like when I get there,
And that's what
I'm saying?
that's
I
what
be like,
feel like
that divine synchronicity, kind of thing.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think like, what I mean, it'd be a little structure and planning and stuff like that, what I mean, to things, what I mean. I make sure that I be on, on top of, things that I have to get done.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
But I am a lot more flexible.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. To where I try to plan and prepare.
Yes,
I can be
yes.
spontaneous to at a certain degree, but yeah, but when it comes
Mhm.
to work and business, I like to be on top of my game, right?
Yes.
And then it said when it comes to like venues, you have like um non-traditional venues may include like rooftop spaces. A lot of times, like
Mm.
people that do the rooftop thing, that's become really big and huge, where it like throws
Mhm.
stuff. Like art galleries, like people are
Mhm.
throwing things in art galleries now, as
Mhm.
traditional places. Concert venues, people are doing things in concert venues and stuff.
Mhm.
Yachts. Okay, like I don't know what that's like, but yeah, doing things in
Mhm.
the yacht world. They say
Mhm.
doing stuff at wineries and breweries. I even
Mhm.
they said airport hangars. Like who
Oh,
knew?
wow.
Who knew? Right?
Mhm.
That warehouses. I know warehouses are big. Like they're turning warehouses into like really big spaces to do events and stuff. Yeah, I have
Right.
that a lot. Right? Just to turn
Mhm.
into fabulous. Do something great. They say unique restaurants and bars, like outdoor spaces, are considered non-traditional. You know.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I be looking for it. Like when they be having stuff going on, and it's like and not at your typical type of place, have these great functions and events. I be looking for it. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
To do something different.
Do something different. Do something different,
Mhm.
right? And I
Yep.
said, so what does traditional and non-traditional actually mean? So we gave you some examples of it, right?
Mhm.
But what does it actually mean? So, tradition is the passing on of beliefs and rules through the generations. Tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I can see that. You
Yeah.
know, things get passed down. Like I think for me, I am traditional in a lot of ways. Like especially like how we grew up. Like
Mm-hmm.
like the family things, getting together, like for the holidays. You know, just certain things that I try to keep the tradition going. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself very traditional in that way, and I don't steer too far from it. You know,
Yeah.
it's those traditions that I embrace, I enjoy, and I
Mm-hmm.
pass it on down to the kids and stuff. So, I can see that passing through the generations.
Mm-hmm.
People or things that don't follow these traditions, instead inventing new ways of doing things. That's non-traditional. Like not following the traditions, they find new ways.
That's more me. I definitely be like, I like the blending,
Yes,
of things, like I said, just finding new ways of doing stuff. I'm very
that's you.
non-traditional.
That's you out there. Yes. That's why I said I love it. I was ready to have fun with this because, like, you're more non-traditional than I am in a lot of aspects, right? Which is fun. It balances us out. Yes, yes, yes. So they said. So, what is a non-traditional person? You want to hear? A non-traditional person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it says not following the tradition
Mm-hmm.
and not to past practice conventions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like, for me, maybe just like I feel like I didn't really have a lot of like, solid, traditional type of stuff going on in my youth. And so it just wasn't yeah, it just didn't transfer over into adulthood. And and even like the way, with dealing with my children and everything and stuff, it's like now I'm coming more into some of the more traditional stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of you.
Mm.
Because of you and spending time with you and stuff, and the things that we've been doing together and stuff, and pulling the children into that, and then especially like, with the children, going off and doing their own things and stuff now, this is like a way to like bring them back home.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
times. And it's like, because, it's even like, when Isis has said to me, like, oh, when I told her she had to come home for Christmas, she's
Uh
like,
huh.
celebrate Christmas. And I'm like, really now? You know what I'm saying? So, but even my children, she's like, all right, well, I'll come home for winter solstice.
With a
For the
soul.
winter celebration.
Say whatever.
Yeah, but that's what I'll be like, because I don't really be into the holidays and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I do always embrace the opportunity to connect with family, and what I'm saying, like all that stuff, the festivities, the lights. I love all of that.
Yes.
Some of the things that like that it represents, just like even like with Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Folks is blowing up my page, with all the, oh, don't, just all the and pale face colonizer stuff and all kind of things like that. And
Wow.
yeah, talking about people, like dissing people for celebrating Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah, like I come see, my algorithms, like I come across a lot of that sort of type of behavior.
Mm.
Time, I'll be like, like I feel it, I understand, what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, we can call it something else if we want to. But I'm like, all I know is family is getting together. We
That
about to
part.
eat some food. We about
That
to
part.
have a good time. We about to vibe. We about to, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just and I love all of that. So
Exactly.
any
Yes.
excuse to do.
Listen, that for me. Like anytime we can get together, right? I'm like, I'm for it. I'm
Right,
for
because
it.
we have a
So
good time.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Family time.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
really all
Yeah.
it's about.
What it's all about. it's like no excuse, family. None of y'all got work, ain't none of So they said what is between tradition and non-tradition, right? So they say non-traditional is defined as from what was usual in the yeah. Is that an equity to you?
Say what?
Does this sound like an echo?
A little bit. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too.
Yeah, I think when you came out, it came with an echo.
Oh, I don't know. It seemed like my signal had like died or something for a second.
Okay.
And do you want me to go out and then come back in?
See if you can try.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay. Yeah, it was sounding a little equity. So, girl, all right, you do. So, anywho, we are going to talk about like what is the difference between the tradition and the non-tradition, right? Yeah. So, how's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Better.
Yes.
So, for those of you who had just came in, my sister Janae Goddess Life does this with me on Sundays, and she has been under the weather all week, but she made it here on this live to do our sister talk. So she may not be feeling or looking her best out here on this platform, because she has that beautiful glow.
Yeah.
And ready to do our sister talk, but she has been under the weather. But I am so thankful that she was able to, join us today. So, if there's any questions that anybody might have, so why Janae's not looking her best today. she was not feeling well. So, and she's still not, but she made it here on today. So I appreciate you. I'm grateful. Okay? That's my sister, and yeah, she is a beautiful life. And okay? So I just want to be clear and just stamp that, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, what is the difference between tradition and non-traditional? So conversely, non-traditional is defined as different from what was used in the past, moving away from what is habitually done. Right? Where non-traditional means taking a path not often traveled, going places few have seen, experiencing things others only dream about, and reaping the rewards from those experiences to bring with them.
Wow. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Because, I guess, like with traditional, if you're only doing like what's been passed down, you're only doing the same thing. It's like you're not discovering anything new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like, so that's why I said I think I'm a little bit of both. Like, I love things and like different aspects, but I love doing things like experiencing things that I've never experienced before, going places, seeing other parts of the world, So I definitely love to do that step out of the box moment, which I call it stepping out of the box. Doing something I look like or probably is perceived that I would never do.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of that, Mika. That trying new things. I love it.
Yes. Like for me, big, just when we did our trip, right? And I was like, my whole mindset was I want to do something big and grand, something that I would normally never do. Okay.
Yeah.
Like live my best life because ain't nobody gonna believe that I did it, right? One thing that I did, like when Alaska, I got on the suspension bridge, which is actually not inside of Alaska, it's outside of Alaska, it's in the Yukon of Canada. Right? And it's this really narrow bridge. Okay.
Mm.
And it actually crosses over like these raging, like 5 category waters.
Wow.
It's so strong that if you were to fall in it, it'll sweep you away in seconds. Like it ain't
Yeah.
no getting you, it ain't nobody try to save you. It's a wrap,
Right.
okay?
Ain't no help.
Coming, baby. Because if you get in there, it's gone. You gone. Sorry. I
Yeah.
love you, but yeah, ain't nobody gonna save you. So going over the suspension bridge, which is so narrow that like
Mm.
two people couldn't cross together. It was one of those like you gotta slide over and let the next person squeeze by you type of deal. And it was like
Yeah.
so for me, it was like I did it, I conquered it. Yeah, so that,
Mhm.
I was yeah. So that
Yes.
was one of my step out the box moments.
Mhm.
And going to the Mendenhall Glacier where it was super cold and walking for 30 minutes
Mhm.
go get closer to the waterfall. So that was exciting for me. So
Yeah, I love it. And see, even like traveling, you know what I mean? Because some people are like traveling that's very non-traditional, you know what I mean? Because some folks do not be like leaving their neighborhood,
yes,
you know what I
yes,
mean? Or they, like they travel and might just go to the beach every now and then, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, like you said, doing big things, like going to Alaska, like that was
God,
huge.
that was huge. Okay. That's
Yeah.
different. Like instead of in the summertime, going where it's always warm in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
Go somewhere where it's a little cool, something different, experience
Mhm.
something that I would probably never ever do before. So
Yeah.
so I'm for it. I'm living my life now, living for it.
Yes.
Yep.
All for that.
So they said the next thing is what is an example of traditional. So we talked about non-traditional stuff, right? So
Mhm.
traditional can be described as anything that follows tradition or a usual way of doing things.
Mhm.
Like Mexican food, right? That's an example.
Mhm.
Like the tradition is tortillas and beans, right? That's an example
Mhm.
of tradition. But they said now a non-traditional way of doing Mexican food is like having a bag of corn chips with some chili and some fake cheese sauce, right? That's considered non-traditional.
And people do it
But
all the time.
exactly, that's an example of having Mexican food, but not the traditional way, right?
Mhm.
That's an example of it, right? So they said,
Yeah.
so like, what is the difference between traditional and non-traditional work?
Mhm. Work.
Understanding like non-traditional employment like refers to work arrangements that differ from traditional full-time permanent
Mhm.
jobs with a single employer. So
Yeah.
about that we hear that, right? They said these arrangements could include like part-time, temporary, or contract work or gig work, or remote work, right? So that's considered like non-traditional, like the
Mhm.
entrepreneurship
Yes.
and 9 to 5, right? Like not punching
Mhm.
the clock, not having just a
Right.
single employer, right?
Yep.
That's considered non-traditional, right? And
Yes.
it's so big now. Like I hear all the time when people say, "I'm not about to punch no time clock. I ain't about to be doing no 9 to 5." They out
Mhm.
here making
Ain't
it
nobody
happen.
going to the plantation.
Like, right. Like
Yeah,
not
that's right.
so like people are working, making money, doing it in other ways than doing your typical. Let me go punch this clock, work for this employer type of deal, right?
Mhm.
It's
Right.
so big now. It's so big now. And I think it happened even grander like when COVID hit. Because you know how
Mhm.
shut down so
Mhm.
where you ain't have a choice but to sit home, try to figure it out. And that's when a lot
Mhm.
of businesses was born. Like
Mhm. Yep.
it was like one of those gray areas, like businesses that were thriving, COVID hit and it shut your business down. But on the flip side of it, new businesses were born.
Yep.
A lot of
Yep.
entrepreneurs came out of it. They got to like
Mhm.
craft their ideas, put things together, and say, "I've always wanted to do this. Now let me
Mhm.
try it. Try my hand at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if people they had that time to be home and really get into themselves, and people did
Exactly
not want to go back to work.
not. When things open, people was like, "I can't go back to work now."
Mm-mm.
Like people was like, "I'm not doing it." right? Like,
Right.
I don't think America was ready for that. You're not coming back to work. Like, what? Then, like, it's hard to get people to like want to go in and punch their clock there after that.
Yeah.
Like the silver lining to like when COVID happened and stuff, right? Yes. I was like, damn, I was like, part of me, I was like, I should have got on that bandwagon, child. Listen, woo, yeah. But they said, so what is we talked about a non-traditional person, and also what is a traditional person?
Mhm.
They said adhering or conforming to customs, beliefs,
Mhm.
and values, etc., like handed down from generation to generation, like
Mhm.
preferring to what is old or long established or old fashioned.
Man, I think the young people call them dinosaurs. Like, look, like you're not evolving. I don't, you know.
So that's why I think I'm a little bit of both,
A
traditional,
both, yeah.
because I have a lot of beliefs and values and stuff and things that were
Mhm.
handed down for generations and stuff that I strongly believe in. But on the same
Yeah.
token, I do a lot of non-traditional things. So I feel like I'm like
Yeah.
both, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, so like I have those things that are like non-negotiable.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
The holidays, spending time with family, decorating, just getting
Yeah.
to the festive mood, bringing everybody together.
Mhm.
Tradition for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a non-negotiable. Right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So like
It's appreciated too. It's appreciated to hold on, you know what I mean, to those things. Cause sometimes, it's like, if you just let it go, you know
mhm.
what I'm saying? And then it's like it's just not being done. And it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's good.
Yeah. I feel like I have to like hold it together, keep the
Mhm.
glue, be the glue to keep it together because
Yeah.
um grandma, it was always, having gatherings at grandma's house, or
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, bringing the family together. And it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's on me, like, and it's something that I always love and enjoy, but it's like now that she's not here with us anymore, it's like trying to keep their family together,
Yeah.
together, keep us together. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But they said, yeah, from like, things that are old fashioned. Like I don't consider myself old fashioned, but I consider myself like holding on to traditions in that sense.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, those good things, you know what I'm saying, that we don't want to lose.
and we don't want to lose. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Maria. Thank you for coming in. Maria's good time. Yes. Yeah, like some things I just don't want to lose and let go of. It's very
Yeah.
important. Very important to me, right?
Mhm.
So they said, what is a non-traditional woman?
Uh-huh. Are you eyeballing me? Like, look, no.
What is a non-traditional woman? So they said, like the definition of a non-traditional woman describes something new or a different as opposed to an established norm, custom, or method, right?
Mhm.
So non-traditional women embrace the barriers that trap us into a controlled system of the
Mhm.
norms and rules that society has put in place for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
that's like feminists. Like
There's like
feminist women, they very non-traditional.
non-traditional. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. They like,
Yes.
look, I ain't gonna be barefooting in the kitchen.
That part. That part.
You know
That
what
part.
I'm saying?
That part.
Yeah.
That's why I say like this whole topic for me, like I feel like I'm a cross between both. Like I'm
Mhm.
traditional, non-traditional. I'm definitely I feel like I'm a non-traditional woman in a lot of ways because I feel like I can do as much as a man can do, as my counterparts,
Mhm.
right? So I don't like that to be put in that box or that stereotype that I can't do it because I'm a
Right.
woman, right?
Exactly.
And I don't like the idea of like stay at home waiting for my man to bring the bacon home in the kitchen cooking
Mhm.
and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
on the other side of that, I do enjoy cooking. I do want my husband to, have a home cooked meal. I want him to have all the comforts of home. I'm
Mhm.
not wrapped up in my life that I can't like be a wife and keep our home together. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's like the blending of both worlds.
building of both worlds, building
You
of
know
both
what
worlds.
I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like, what I mean, you don't want to like be suppressing yourself. What I mean, like it
Right.
seems like traditional
Hmm.
black women, they just seem a little more suppressed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, and like yeah, what I mean, and but non-traditional, it's like, what I mean, we're doing what we want to do. You know
Pretty
what I'm
much.
saying? We doing what
Pretty
we want to do. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? And
Yes.
and like for me, it's not even about like, doing what a man does or anything stuff, but doing those things that make me happy and stuff
Yes.
like that. You
Yes.
know what I mean? And still being a good woman to my man. You know what I
Right.
mean? At the same
Exactly.
time, what I
Exactly.
mean? But not, allowing myself to be restricted.
Restricted.
You know?
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, like it's like a cross between, right? I still
Yeah.
have values, right? You still have the value
Mhm.
of being a good woman, but not falling into that trap to where I can't do anything outside of like what is expected of a woman to do, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. So then they said they have like what is traditional versus non-traditional leadership.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
So the main focus of a traditional leader is to improve the business position of the company or the organization in the market. They're considered
Mhm.
traditional leaders. Um, like servant leadership occurs when a leader's main goal and responsibility is to provide service for their people. So if you're traditional, you're worried more about the company or the organization. It's all about the,
Mhm.
you don't care nothing about like your workers, your employee. It's like the company is your main focus, making sure the
Mhm.
company grows, evolve, whatever. But if you're non-traditional type of leader, you got to keep the people happy, the people that's working for you, the employees, the people that's coming,
Right.
the business
Yeah.
running. And that's so huge for me because like it happens. How they say if you got disgruntled employees and people that don't want to come to work, how your business gonna keep thriving?
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't be so traditional that you only care about the company,
everybody know,
and
company. Yup,
that's
yup,
like capitalism.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You
yeah,
got to be for the people.
yeah. And some leaders get it. Some leaders get it. Like, well, if my employees are not happy, then the company ain't gonna run right. Things ain't gonna run smooth. Ain't nobody gonna want to come to work, and I'm not gonna get A
Right.
plus work. Everybody disgruntled, and ain't nobody gonna want to be here. You know.
Right.
But
Mhm.
then you get some of those leaders that be like, I don't care if you're not feeling good, get your butt in here.
Yeah.
If your kid's sick, find a babysitter. Like
Yeah.
you
No
can't
mercy.
be there. It don't work that way. Don't work that way. Right? So yeah, so that's the difference between traditional and non-traditional leadership, right?
Mhm.
So now we go to what is a traditional and non-traditional family.
Mhm.
It's a lot of that, right? So
Yeah.
it said, for the most part, the term traditional family describes a two-parent family, right?
Mhm.
The mother and the father,
And the
like
children.
raising their biological children, right? That's usually
Yes,
considered
raising,
a
yep,
family.
like you said, raising their biological children.
Biological children, right?
Mhm.
Then they said, but a non-traditional family is any type of family, right?
Uh-huh.
Outside of that definition, you know, it could be a single parent family, it could be a
That
divorced
was,
family, like
yes.
so different avenues of non-traditional family, right?
Mhm. It's
Yes,
plenty of those.
plenty,
Yeah.
plenty of those. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, society has almost encourages,
Yes.
like non-traditional type of
Yeah.
behavior. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's,
because
it's
you know how they it's like more traditional. Like back in the day, the grandparents like they would stay together no matter what.
no matter
You know what
what.
I'm saying?
No matter
Yeah,
what.
it'd be like hating each other the whole time, but they together just for the children.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? We'd be like, what? No,
What?
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if it's not working, we'd be like, no, the children don't understand.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You know,
Listen.
it's like, we more in a society now that, like that helps, what I mean, even with the mental health and everything, to be able to deal, what I mean, with that. It's like so many single parents
Yes.
and single parent, what I mean, families and, what I mean, the blended families and
The
stuff like we
blended
talked
family.
about the other
Yes.
week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like non-tradition is huge now. Huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
not what your typical family looks like. And it's okay. And it's okay.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
We definitely came from non-traditional.
Mhm.
Right? So they said, what is the opposite of being traditional? Right? So the
Mhm.
opposite of traditional would be modern,
Yeah.
progressive, moving
Mhm.
forward, right?
Right.
New, deviated, untraditional, like unestablished.
Mhm.
Opposite of being traditional. Trying something new, doing something inventive, moving forward, okay? Outside
Mhm.
of traditional ways, right? So,
Yeah.
and that happens a lot, like especially in our society, like we've gone away from so many different traditional avenues. You know what I'm saying? Not
Mhm.
ways of like doing things. Even with America, like how we do certain things now. Like who would like ever think like when we had our like first black vice president, things like that.
Right.
In the day,
Mhm.
like never been thought of or heard of.
Yeah.
It's just like I just love the way like we evolved in a lot of ways. Like so,
Yeah. I mean, it's like, change is good. You know what I
change,
mean? Change is
change is
good.
change is
You
good.
know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, it's like those like the old ways. I don't want to say like old ways, you know what I mean, but because some people look at like the traditional as being, it's like right ways and wrong ways, you know what I
Yes.
mean, kind of thing. And so sometimes a lot of this new wave, new age stuff and progressive stuff, you know what I mean? It's like, is it harmful? Is it
Mhm.
helpful? Or, what I'm
Right.
saying? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
With some of these, new things and stuff like
Mhm.
that, you know what I mean? You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
yeah, it's like how beneficial is some of these new things, you know what I mean? Some of these old traditions and stuff, you know what I mean? It's like we kind of might need to hold on to.
Some of the tradition. Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So I said so. Like it's definitely the context of it. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they said. So what is a non-traditional way of thinking?
Mm.
A non-traditional
Mm.
thinking. So
Mm-hmm.
they said that unconventional thinking means looking at the world through an inquisitive, investigative,
Mm-hmm.
inquisitive,
Yes.
investigative, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Curious, question and ask. You know
yes,
what I'm saying? Don't just
yes,
accept, yeah.
like you did as a child, like how you so inquisitive, like you just want to learn, you want to know, like what's that about? Why is that like
Mm-hmm.
this? We got all these questions, right? And you're very
Yes.
inquisitive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and years ago, it was more like, oh, children's supposed to be like seen and not heard, you know what I mean, kind
Yes.
of thing. It's like you
Yes.
get in trouble for asking questions and stuff. But,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
but now,
Mhm.
even like with my children, it's like it's like, um, like I would let them say, and you know what I mean, like they had a say about things, and I asked them, what did they want for dinner and stuff, instead of just being like, here's the food, eat, you know what I mean, kind of thing. I don't know, I just was very, very non-traditional.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like children are still little people, right?
They
And
are.
that cliche when I say like they say like, well, children are our future, right? You hear this,
Hmm.
but that is the truth. That is our
It
truth.
is.
Like these little
Yes.
people, someday are going to grow into adults. They might be leading, might be your boss or something one day, or might be leading something, or you never know. Like where
Right.
child is going to grow up to be, right?
Exactly. So you
Lead them
better
the
be
way,
good to them.
yeah, yeah. Be good to them. Lead them the way that they should go, because you never know
Mhm.
where they're going to be when they grow up, right?
Right.
Exactly. So they said, so this perspective should not be limited to just your work, but
Mhm.
permeate your general outlook on life,
Yes.
traditional way of thinking, right? And
Yes.
how you
Yes.
said, like, giving the kids a voice, letting them be
Mhm.
heard, and
Yeah,
going away.
traditional thinking, even I mean, so like, because that made me think of like critical thinking, um,
Mm-hmm.
and intentional thinking.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
like how
yes,
nowadays we have a lot of mindfulness type of stuff that's going on.
yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes,
And it's like reprogramming and
yes.
what I mean, you see videos and stuff, reprogram your thinking, what I mean, sort of stuff, what I mean? Like, yeah, we definitely some different people than our grandparents and great
Yes,
grandparents
yes,
were,
yes,
yeah, and the way
yes,
that we like think and process stuff.
yes, 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 absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yes. So they said, what does it mean when you call someone? Well, no, what does it mean when someone calls you traditional?
Hmm.
What does it mean when somebody calls you traditional?
I would think, yeah, like maybe old fashioned,
Mm,
you know, yeah, when I think of traditional, I think of even like being like in the way of the Bible or something almost, what I mean, too, like
yeah.
yeah, when I think of traditional, I kind of think of religious a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. But more old fashioned. More old fashioned.
I know.
Um
Oh, yeah. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, what is like how do you feel? Like when somebody calls you traditional, it's like, what do you mean? Like, what are you trying to say exactly? You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
they said like, so like following or conforming to tradition,
Mm.
adhering to past practices or established conventions, traditional morality, traditional values and beliefs. That's when you
Mhm.
consider a traditional person.
But you know what though? Some of the things like say like some of those like, like old African, like traditions and stuff like that. Like I'd be wanting to learn those things. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? But it because they're not even like traditional for me. It's like those
Mm,
things, even though they would be like traditional for a culture, I
okay.
mean, because I feel like, a lot of things that I have been disconnected from that I would like
Mm-hmm.
to understand, what I mean, some of those like, oh, like African traditional ways and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the things that I feel like that, like areas that we had right. I mean,
Mm,
things that we had, going on that made sense.
yes.
Yeah, I think it's good to hold on to that stuff.
Right, right, right.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
so I don't look at traditional as it's like it's not an insult.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm a toss between the both. Traditional,
Yeah.
no. So they say like, what are three examples of of tradition? So common examples include public holidays, right?
Right.
Particularly those unique to a particular nation, right? Consider
Mhm.
tradition. The singing of like the national anthem, that's traditional, right?
Mhm.
Like how no matter what the event is, or like how they open up for like games and stuff like that, they always do the national anthem. So I can see that.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. That's
they
just
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, like that's that, like that they never steer from that. Like as long as I can remember, like growing up, they
Yeah.
never steer from that, right?
Mhm.
Um, Traditional national cuisines and stuff, like a dish that different nations or cultures will have, right? Traditional.
Mhm.
Um, So, like they said, a lot of like communities may continue to practice national traditions to their home nation, like fact.
Mhm.
So that when I think about that, I think about like um Thanksgiving as for instance,
Mhm.
traditional day how you said like you get the turkey. A lot of people like the ham. I don't eat the ham or whatever, but people
Mhm.
like the ham, and they do all the traditional with all the bells and whistles with the like this the dressing and like the mac and cheese and
Mhm.
cornbread, like all the traditional stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah, so like having salmon was very non-traditional.
That was very non-traditional. It was very non-traditional.
Mhm.
Like, funny, we had this conversation like right before the break, and it was like, so what do you do for like Thanksgiving? Like, what is your tradition? It was like, well, some family and friends that I know, they gone away from like doing like the traditional turkey and things like that, and went to
Mhm.
like you said, doing like the salmon or having like burgers and fish and cheesesteak. I was like, oh, okay,
Wow. Mhm.
non-traditional for Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm
That's
like,
like
talk
having pizza.
about
That's
not being traditional. I was like,
right.
okay.
That's like
I
or
was
that's
like,
like
yeah,
having pizza at Christmas.
that part,
You
that
know what
part.
I'm saying? Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
but look, but say like, if that was something that we used to do when we was little, then that would become part of our tradition or
yeah,
something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it could be like a very, like non-traditional thing that had become our tradition.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So yeah, it's like it's a couple ways to look at it. Hmm.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
what a way to break traditions, okay?
Yeah, how about that?
You know what I mean? So they said, like, so what is a traditional lifestyle? Like following or belonging to the customs or ways of behaving that have continued in a group or people or society for a long time. Living a
I'm a
traditional
don't not
lifestyle.
never be traditional in that
No,
way.
no, 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 no. No, yeah. 'Cause that aspect, right, it's hard to be in that way of like how stuff is forever. That reminds me of like the women in the kitchen all the time. She stay home and she doing all the cooking and the cleaning, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Not,
You
not
know what I'm saying? And like, even like the dressing modestly and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
us.
Like if I want to put on a mini skirt and some high boots and
Okay.
you know what I'm saying and go out sexy tonight, then I'm gonna do that. And I feel like that's like a non-traditional thing to do or something. If you're thinking about like a traditional one, like when I think of a tradition, I think of,
Mm.
so like all the modesty and you know what I mean? And I am modest. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
front, you know what I'm saying?
I'm to a fault. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I have my moments,
Okay.
shoot,
Okay. Yes, yes. So they said like, so what is considered non-traditional, different from what is usual in the past. Women are increasingly joining non-traditional industries such as
Mm.
working.
You said such as construction
Yes,
working.
yes. Women are
Wow,
joining
yeah.
non-traditional jobs. Like how you see how you got women out here doing construction, women out here driving trucks, they out here digging in the street. Like it's
Mhm. I ain't gonna
non-traditional work.
front. Or even being in the military.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, maybe, I'm gonna say it's like say like when I see a woman and she's like doing construction and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It'd be like, yo, like she must be a strong lady, you know what I mean?
Strong.
I be thinking, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's more, like she's more like like a masculine,
Mm,
that's what I would think. Like, okay, she's in tune with her
into
masculinity,
masculinity. Yes.
type of thing. Um, but yeah, I'd be like, I went into the military, you
You
know what I mean?
did.
And it didn't seem strange for me or, anything stuff, but I knew that it was definitely like, one of those things that, women didn't usually do. And you can tell that even when I was in, you know what I mean, it's like not necessarily like built for women, you know what I mean,
Mm,
in a sense. Um, yeah, it's definitely like a man's world,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
with all
yeah.
of that. And
Yes.
that'd be the thing. It's like when I see women doing construction and, different sort of stuff like that, it's like it looks like, it kind of looks like that, you know what I mean? Like they're in the man's world.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're non-traditional. And like you said, women have definitely taken like non-traditional jobs and stuff that you wouldn't typically probably see a woman do.
Yeah.
I've never personally into construction because I can't be out there in them elements doing all that crazy work.
Right.
I tip my hat off to women that do it. Okay.
Mhm. And see, and I actually like that kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? Like the hammering, some sawing, and
Okay.
different things and stuff like that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but I also still want to be able to be like, can you get that for me? You know
That
what I'm
part.
saying?
That part.
You know what I
That
mean? Can
part.
you put that over there? You know what I mean? Can you lift this? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So I'm still
Yeah.
going to be woman, you know what I'm saying? But I do like messing around with all of that other stuff though too, you know what I'm saying? I like a little DIY project and
Yeah.
stuff and
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
But it's like those things, like when you get into those non-traditional roles as a woman, be ready for what it comes with, because it's like if you feel capable of doing this type of job, you might be expected to do it. Like, don't expect differential treatment. When it comes time to like lift things or be hauling and stuff, just be prepared for that part. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely not getting any women that do anything non traditional, like when it comes to jobs and stuff, right? So
Oh,
you still there?
yes.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll be back to the echo again. I think for a second.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So that was one of the ways that like women do traditional things or non-traditional things, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so they said like what is non-traditional values versus traditional values.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm.
Mhm.
So a traditional culture emphasizes family oriented values, right?
Mhm.
Whereas non-traditional culture focuses on the individual oriented values.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes,
How
yes.
about that? You know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
why we are saying like how, it's like when families don't be staying together anymore. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
women,
Mhm. Yes,
yeah, or men
yes,
or women leaving the situation because
yes.
it's not pleasing them,
Yep.
so they are thinking about their individual selves,
They are.
you
Yep.
know.
Non-traditional be like,
Yeah.
they working, forget all that till death do us part and all that stuff. Like people
Right.
be like, listen, all right, it
Mhm.
ain't working in the year. Okay, time to go. You know?
Yeah. It's like you don't want to stay in something that's bringing you down or tearing you
Exactly.
down. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But, yeah,
But
it's
traditional,
like, yeah, like I said, more traditional, like they hold on to their choice,
yes,
you
yes,
know.
yes. Yep. Like, yeah, I made these vows. I'm not gonna break them. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
staying in there, even though I'm miserable every day and I can't stand them. I'm gonna stay in it, right? That's traditional.
Yeah.
That's considered
Mhm.
like your traditional values. Like you're gonna follow the letter of the law. Just be like, okay,
Mhm.
no matter what, right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I
know a
don't,
woman,
I,
she
that's why I say. That's why I say I'm very traditional, non-traditional, because it's
yeah. Yeah, I've just seen it too. I know this woman, she was married for 35 years, her and her husband, and they finally broke up. And so by this time, she was like 70 when I was talking to her. And she was
wow.
saying how, yeah, she was like, how her husband, they had just broke up after 35 years of marriage. And she was saying how she was miserable the whole time.
See?
And but she was like, that she just was waiting. She said she stayed because of the children.
Uh-huh.
Then at
Uh-huh.
70
Uh-huh.
though, but she still had all this vitality at 70.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So she was very like happy to divorce her husband at 70 years
35 years.
old.
Wow.
And
Good
yeah,
enough. Welcome in. Welcome in. She's the
yeah.
face.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's what she was saying. It was like she was like, "Now I can live my life," you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I
Wow.
get it. I see, I mean, people definitely will, like hang in there for the children and stuff,
Yes.
you know what I mean? But sometimes it's like it's not even good for the children if it's a toxic relationship.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, I had to make that decision because I had fell into that way of thinking at one point when I'm like, okay, I want to stay in my marriage because It's beneficial for the children.
Mhm.
You know, I wasn't happy, but and I knew I wanted out of it, but I'm like,
Mhm.
I want to put my kids through not, seeing their parents together, seeing mom and dad together. And
Right.
it took your niece to be finally like, Mom, why are you married to my dad? Like, why are you still married?
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, and she was so young when she said it. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
she
so
can see
I
it.
really like put myself through different situations that I know that I wanted to get away from, but I didn't want it to affect the kids. And my daughter was over it. She was
Right.
over it. It was
Yeah.
like, Mom, like, when you gonna leave my dad type of deal? I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. So I was that for me. That for me was like, okay, well, if y'all over it, then okay, then what am I still trying to like keep with
Right.
you guys if you over it? Okay, so yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I think, ideally, we want that, I'm
we do want
saying,
right,
but
right,
it's like, open-minded, when things aren't working, when you're trying to hold something together with glue and staples and
right,
tape and,
yeah,
and it's like, look, and sometimes it's like, like the universe is trying to move you,
yes,
from
yes,
something that you're trying to hold on to.
okay,
Have to just go
okay,
ahead and let it go.
yes. Yeah, and they said like the traditional cultures give prominence to family values, opposed to
Mhm.
non-traditional culture, which focus on individuality, right,
Mhm.
independence, self-reliance. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
and I see that a lot, like especially like in certain cultures where the family be traditional, like the daughters have to do certain things or they have to like marry within their own culture, stuff like that. And then the new age, they're like, well, no, I don't want to marry in my culture. I want to marry outside my culture. I want to do things outside of my
Right.
culture. I see that a
Mhm.
lot. I see that a lot. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember like years and years ago, when I was like working in the banking world, and one of the young ladies that worked with me, she was like Indian descent or whatever, and
Mhm.
she had a sister, and her family had arranged for her sister to get married, to get wed,
Mm.
right? Who's
Mhm.
one from their country, and I remember her getting so upset about it because it was her younger sister, and she was
Mhm.
like, my sister's about to get married before me and I still don't have a husband. My family haven't found a suitable husband. And I was like, wow, like that's really a thing. Like in the 2000s, that's really
Yeah.
like
How about that?
she was upset that her
Mhm.
sister had an arranged marriage to marry some stranger and she did not. I was like, wow,
Wow.
that was crazy to me.
Yeah. I wonder why, she why like her family had arranged for her younger sister but not her.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean, with her being older. But yeah, I remember one time it was something I was watching and it was talking about how like in with Indian families, how they like the girls they don't even want them to leave home until they get
Mm,
married. You know
okay.
what I mean? So you know how like we'll like leave home at 18 and get our own apartment and stuff like that and everything. Like in their families that's not common.
Okay.
You know, it's like more traditional to like for the girls to stay home until it's like they go from their family to their husband. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like they don't there's not like they don't usually just be off like on their own and stuff, you know what I mean? But they own apartments and different things
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, like that would be very non-traditional for them to do something like that.
Right. Yeah, I just
Mhm.
thought that was interesting. So that just gave me like a thought of like in a traditional way of thinking and of the traditional values and things like that.
Mhm. I wish I could have, like some of those traditions be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder, and then with those arranged marriages and stuff, like, do they believe in divorce and stuff too? You know what I mean? It's like it seems like once you get, one of them arranged marriages, like you have to stay in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's because it's
Um,
it's some places and stuff like where they don't play. More stuff.
They do not play that divorce stuff. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not,
It's like
that's
once you in it, you in it.
yeah, exactly. You in it, right? Yeah, so I thought that was very, very interesting.
Mhm.
So like I said, we talked about like what is a non-traditional woman, and it says so like what is considered a traditional woman, right? They call
Mhm.
a traditional woman a trad wife.
Say that again.
Trad wife. TradWife, a trad wife, which is a neologism for traditional wife or traditional housewife.
Okay.
Traditional woman, right? It said she's a woman who believes in and practices traditional gender roles in marriages. So she believes and practices the traditional gender roles in marriage.
Mhm.
So she don't stare outside of that. Like she know her role, she know her place, and she stays in it. Pretty much.
Yeah. They I guess they out here.
They definitely are
You
here.
know what I'm saying? I'm sure they out here. I'm not. I'm not necessarily one of those.
Yes,
You know.
yes, yes,
Yeah, but
yes,
I mean, but I could imagine, you know what I'm saying, a woman that's like, look, you know what I mean, I just want to, have me a husband, have his
yes,
babies, and
yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying, get up in the morning, cook breakfast, prepare,
yes,
everybody's lunch and clean the house
yes,
and you know what I mean,
yes,
and that's it. That's her only role,
yes,
you know.
yes,
Yeah, it's
yes,
just so much more to me. It's
yes,
just so much more to me. Like I feel
right.
like if I was just in that situation, me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I feel like I would be miserable.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I would
yeah.
be kind of miserable like that. It would just be like, oh, you know what I mean? It'd be like, dang, this is what I do every day. I'm just with the chill. But I don't, I mean, I guess, like, 'cause my children are big, but I wanted to homeschool my children and, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I would've been exactly like that. You know what I'm saying? Being like that, that house home mommy, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I said, doing school, doing the breakfast, because that's how summertime was, you know what I mean? Like, I was always giving them a bunch of extra work,
mm-hmm.
and getting them up at a certain time and we
Mm-hmm.
do a little bit of work and keeping them engaged and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I know that it's there and it
right,
needs to like be that way though, you
right.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know, but that's what I guess society kind of like perpetuates the non-traditional, because it's like, still being in the world, you want to do all these other things.
Right,
You know what I mean? It's
right.
like you just want to experience all this stuff. Like, who wants to be stuck in the house? You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Pregnant all the time and what I'm saying, constantly serving other people and
absolutely,
stuff.
absolutely. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. They said some may choose to take homemaking role within their marriage, and others
Mhm.
their careers to focus on meeting their family's needs in home. That's
Yeah.
considered a traditional type of woman. Like she feels
Mhm.
stay home, take care of the house, let the husband do his thing, and don't do
I'd rather
anything else.
get a housekeeper.
Okay.
I'd
Okay.
rather get a housekeeper and what I'm saying, yeah, and a nanny and well, not necessarily a nanny, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
but I mean, I always had somebody staying with me, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying, so
Right.
it was like
Right.
you know what I mean, out, like having that extra help and
Hmm.
stuff, I mean, yeah, it was greatly appreciated. You know what I mean? It gave me some freedom to be able to just be. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Without,
Yes.
oh no, you have to do this, you know what I mean? Like you just here to like just be a woman
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, in the traditional sense of, you know, what how that has been bestowed upon us, what I
Hmm.
mean, from like earlier society.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. Yes. I think
Mhm.
we're the way so far from the traditional ways of thinking. Like you said, there's still some out here that believe
Mhm.
traditional values in a traditional way, when it comes to
Mhm.
like the household, and being in a
Yeah.
marriage and stuff. But it's a lot of us that don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, we haven't talked about yet, like traditional men. Is that on there somewhere? Is that in your cards? Look, traditional men versus non-traditional men. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because you know, like how the traditional men, you know what I mean, how they, you know what I'm saying? I remember I went to school with
Mhm.
this young lady, and this was in college, and she was saying how we was talking about relationships, and she was married to an African man, and she was
Okay.
like, no, she said she was like, you know what I mean, she said she was like, look, like my African man, she said he's very traditional,
Very traditional. Okay.
and what she said was how, you know, he believed he's supposed to pay for everything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sort of stuff.
Okay.
And she said that because we was like, well, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? We was kind of like, well, what are you doing in school? You know what I mean? Kind of thing, you know.
Mhm.
And but she was like, you know what I mean, you know, because she still wanted to live and do stuff and, you know what I mean, make her own money and stuff like
Yes.
that. But what she
Yes.
said was, she said that all the money that she makes, she said that
Give it
her
to him.
husband looks at that as just her pocket change. That's her
What?
pocket money. Yeah, she
What?
was like, yep. She was like, you know what I mean? Like you know, because she was saying that he's a traditional man and he believes that the
Wow.
man is supposed to pay for everything and give his woman allowance.
What?
You know what I'm saying? As a traditional man. And so and that's what we was all like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, you know, how come you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You know, also we're
Yes.
getting pampered, you know what I mean? But she
Exactly.
still had her other things that she wanted to do. And she was really proud of herself for coming back to school. She felt accomplished and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like, even though she had this traditional man that was taking care of everything, you know what I mean? Like I said,
Mm.
she was still in school and still working. And she was like, I work because I want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
and I just thought that was beautiful. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? You know what I mean? So it was
Wow.
a very traditional man with a non-traditional American woman, even though, you know, he
Wow.
said,
Oh, I was just
yeah.
was she American too, or was she African too?
No,
Okay.
she was
Aw.
American sister with an African man. She was like, I'm saying this girl, she was happy. This is just I was like, yo, I want that.
But what's crazy to me is just hearing you say that is like I've heard like the opposite, like in a lot of
Really?
ways,
Mhm.
like how like different like cultures like looks like you said African men they don't want their women to like do a lot. They want their tradition where the woman is home and she's taking
Right.
care of the baby,
Right.
not allowed
Yep.
to like be her own person and stuff. So to hear that is like what? Like oh,
Mhm.
I'm here
Yeah, so I
for
was
it.
like, he was an open-minded traditional man.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't hear those stories too often. Oh man,
Right.
forget that was a good one. Okay, I like that one. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, and then non-traditional men that be out here trying to live off of women and
Be
stuff, you know what I
like,
mean?
let's
Or,
go
you know, yeah, or that be talking about like, oh no, you know, we go 50-50 and sort of stuff like
yes,
that.
yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yep. They'd be
Mhm.
like, we gonna split the bill. I had this, you had that. Be like, wait a minute, what? Wait a
That's
minute,
when I
what?
get very traditional.
Exactly. Be like,
I be very traditional. Like, hold on, wait, excuse me?
excuse me, is that what? Wait a minute, what? You took me out
Right.
of the date, but we splitting the bill. Like, how who do that?
Yes,
Like, where that work
crazy.
at? Yeah? No, 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 no. Mm-mm. I was
Traditionally,
ways like that. Even
yeah,
with Charlie, like he has a lot of traditional ways, like how they say like chivalry is not dead. It is in a lot
yeah,
of aspects with a lot of men, but like my husband, like he keeps on that traditional of the man opens the door for the women and things like that.
yeah.
So I'll be like, yeah, and I do that. Like I'll sit there, wait for him to open my door. Stuff like I don't,
Yes,
I do not move. I don't budge. You're so spoiled. I'm like, it's not being spoiled. It's like when I'm used to like you set the tone, you created the standard, and I don't expect anything less now. So yeah,
yes. And I think that, part of that, like just traditionally, what I mean, I think that women, should be cherished.
yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? And so, it's like that is that's a tradition that I'm not gonna let go of.
Ain't that go
You
that way,
know.
child? Mm-mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they
Yeah.
said so is being traditional a good thing?
Mm.
They said tradition contributes a sense of comfort and belonging.
Mm.
It brings families together and
Mhm.
enables people to reconnect with friends.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do. I
Yeah.
feel traditional that way, bringing families together and
Yeah.
connecting. Always down to try to connect and bring families together. You know, that's me all day. Um,
Mhm.
Tradition reinforces values such as freedom, faith, integrity, a good educational, personal responsibilities, a strong work ethic, and the value
Mhm.
of selflessness, being selfless. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Like you said, like, it's like helping with the values and stuff, what I mean, of the family members and things and stuff. It's beautiful. What I mean,
Yes.
traditions do be very,
Very beautiful. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So I can see that. Like I do have a strong work ethic, so I do agree with that. I take
Mhm.
personal responsibility. Yeah. So have faith and integrity. Yeah. So those are good
Yeah.
traditions. That's a good
Mhm.
a good thing. Yes. So now what are non-traditional characteristics?
I'm waiting. I'm listening.
Oh, where are the non-traditional characteristics? That these characteristics include older than typical age, part-time attendance, being independent of parents, work
Mhm.
time while enrolled, having dependents, being a single parent,
Mhm.
like being a recipient of like having a GED or high school completion certificate. These are non-traditional characteristics. So
Yeah.
definitely relate to like being a single parent, then
Mhm.
that, like having dependents, of course,
Mhm.
single parent, like, you know,
Right.
you go through the whole school process and all that stuff before you start having children and all that, become a single parent
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So they said that's considered
Yeah.
non-traditional, working full time while enrolled, like working and being in school. So,
Mhm.
right, non-traditional, right? Where they say like
Yeah.
traditional just don't normally be trying to work and go to school. They just focus on one or the other. So if they're in school, they're not trying to work. But non-traditional
Yeah.
are working and trying to go to school and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So they saying like traditional female behavior. What is that?
Uh-oh. Multiple baby daddies.
Traditional female behavior. So
You said traditional.
female behavior, traditional
Okay. Yes.
behavior are traits such as nurturing,
Yeah. I'm very
nurturing,
nurturing.
sensitivity,
You said sensitivity.
sensitivity. I said that's a
Yeah.
trait of a traditional female to female behavior. Sweetness,
Mhm. I'm very sweet.
supportiveness,
You said
supportiveness, supportiveness, being
okay,
supportive,
yeah, very supportive.
right?
Mhm.
Supportive, gentleness,
Gentle. Mhm.
warmth,
Yep. Get all of
uh-huh,
that. Mhm.
passivity, passivity,
You said passive?
and being passive in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I
Passivity.
don't think I'm very passive. I don't think I'm very passive. You
Trait of
know,
a behavior. Being passive. I guess it depends on the situation. Like when I
it
feel like the
does.
man taking care or taking the lead, then I might be like, okay, I'm gonna step back and let him. So like I guess
Yes.
it depends. Being passive
Yeah.
sometimes. Cooperative.
Yes.
Cooperative.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Expressiveness.
Mhm.
Very expressive.
I'm very expressive.
Yes, 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 yes. Modesty. Modesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Humility.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Empathy.
Very
Being
empathetic.
very
Yes.
empathetic. Yes.
Mhm.
Affection.
Affection. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that, I don't know, maybe it's like, having children or something, what I mean, can
Yes,
make you
yes,
be a
yes,
traditional
yes, yes.
woman. Yeah.
But some people can have children and don't be traditional at all,
That's so true. You know what I'm
right?
saying? They don't
Right?
be nurturing, don't be
Nope,
affectionate,
nope, nope.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's
Right.
tenderness, tenderness,
Mhm.
um, and being emotional.
Okay, I'm learning more that I think I might be a traditional woman. You giving me
Yes, kind,
very kind.
right?
Yes.
Helpful,
Uh-huh. I'm always helpful.
right? Devoted.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
devoted and understanding have been cited as stereotypically feminine.
Well, I'm a feminine lady. Hey.
Yes, yes, I guess we are traditional females.
We are.
Yes,
Yeah, I can read all of those things.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So now we move
Yeah.
on to relationship. What is a
Mhm.
non-traditional relationship? Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. You know what I was
Mm-hmm.
about to say? Just with like the traditional women stuff.
Yeah.
I think I really enjoy um almost like the luxury of being a female.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And being in my femininity and, like I love all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, and I can appreciate, people appreciating that.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Because, women, women, we the most fabulous things on this planet.
Yes. Yep. They're
Yeah.
saying being cited stereotypically feminine. So yeah,
Mhm.
we got stereotype being feminine. So all right. So now, what does a non-traditional relationship mean? So it says non-traditional relationships are becoming not only more common, right, but more recognized by society as a whole as alternative ways to navigate relationships. Like some examples of non traditional relationships include open relationships, polygamy, and the myriad of other constructs, right? So,
Mhm.
non traditional relationships. When I read this, there was open relationship is considered non traditional.
Yes.
Uh
I would say so.
huh.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
saying in polyamory relationships are non-traditional. Yeah.
I knew these things was going to come up. I knew you had this in the cards somewhere.
Uh-huh. Uh,
Yes. It's That's the part
that's
of the conversation I was waiting for.
about it. Okay. So I know I am very traditional. I
Yes.
down with the non-traditional parts of the relationships. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like it's just me and it's you. It ain't no
Yes.
bringing by us into it. It ain't no having no multiple wives.
Uh-huh.
But the men folk, they be wanting these open relationships and these polyamorous relationships and stuff like that. Be like, oh, I
Mhm.
want to have 2 and 3 wives and stuff like that. No,
Yeah. Yeah,
no.
and you'd be surprised though, like how many women be down for it though too, you know what I mean? And even like the polyamory,
Yes,
you know
yes.
what I mean, that be like, like they want, you know what I mean, everything, like that they want too, and be like, okay, you know what I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. But yeah, it's a lot of men that have that mentality.
Oh
Of
yeah.
non-traditional
Yeah.
relationship. Okay?
Yeah,
The
it's
one,
like
the
it's way more common with them.
yes, it says very more common and
Mhm.
it's accepted into society. Yeah, but it's a lot of non-traditional men that, like you said, they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, basically that's all it is. You know what I
It
mean? I
is.
think, if it's like a guy, it seems like the only time that it makes sense is, say like, if it's a married couple and then like I know like is like with Muslims, like say like, if the wife if she can't have any more children or something, but the family, like they want to bring in some more children,
Mhm.
then the man he might take on a second wife. Um but that's just still like a want, not a need. You know what
Wow,
I'm saying?
child. I don't know.
But yeah, but
Whew.
I've seen that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but that just be like, yeah, it just seems heartbreaking though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
Uh,
Yeah, like I'm saying, because like I've heard stories like that. You know what I mean too. Like I said, with with Muslim couples,
Mm-hmm.
and like the woman, like say, like they spend 20 years together. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
had children and stuff. Now the children getting older, but then the husband decide like that he wants more children, and but the wife
Mm.
can't have any more. So then he takes
Oh.
a younger wife and
Mm.
to make more babies. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So like if I was in a situation like that, like for me that seemed like you just divorced me and got another you know what I'm saying? You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
but yeah, what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you just like got another woman and started another family.
Okay. That
You
okay.
know.
That's for me. That's tough. That's tough.
It's very
But
tough. You know what I
that's
mean?
tough.
And
That's
like and
tough.
yeah,
Child.
and to put somebody in that situation and expect them to handle it well.
That part.
Yeah,
That
but
part.
people
Exactly.
do it.
Girl.
Yeah.
Child. Like I can't.
Mhm.
I can't. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know
I'm
a
not built
family
for that
where
life.
yeah. And I also know a family where I've seen it like really work out, you know what I mean? It seemed kind of like almost like a business type, you know what I mean,
Wow.
situation. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, where it's like, everybody just has like their different roles and stuff, you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm.
Yeah, but it's like, the one husband, and then it's, like she has a lot of children, this woman has a lot of children, she has a lot of children, and they all get along very well.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Remind me of that show, like the Sister Wives, when the man married to other women. I have
Mhm.
I have all these different households and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Ah, very
yeah.
interesting.
People
Ah,
find ways to make it work.
they do find ways to make it work. But
Yeah.
what I thought was kind of funny and interesting as well was that a lot of them, although they were sister wives, they were having like issues with the husband spending more time with one particular wife or something like that, and
Oh yeah.
not as engaged in their household or with their children. I was like, they be having drama too. They be
Yes,
having
they
drama too.
do. Yep,
They be
yep,
like,
and
spend more time over
mhm.
her than you was me. What's up? Like what?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
be having drama.
I don't think I could be in that type of
Okay.
situation. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like how I'm supposed to sit with that, knowing like,
Exactly.
like you over there and y'all doing what y'all doing. What? I'm about to get a boyfriend.
That part. That part. Yeah, girl. Yeah. That's mental. That's mental torture. Yeah. So, like they said, so like, what does the traditional family look like? Traditional family is a family structure that consists of a man, considered traditional, a woman, and
Mm-hmm.
one or of their biological or adopted children. That's what they consider traditional family. It has to be a man and a woman to be
Mm-hmm.
considered traditional, right?
Well,
Yeah.
this is America. What?
Right? And
Traditional.
a wife to be considered a traditional. You gotta be a man, a woman, and they have to be husband and wife.
Yeah. Well, we got, it'd be woman and woman consider husband and wife, and man consider husband and wife and husband and
Yes,
husband.
yes,
All
yes,
kind of
yes.
everything happening
Kind of every-
nowadays.
So that's considered non-traditional if they are anything other than man, woman, husband, and wife. Yes.
Mhm.
So that's the difference between like traditional versus the non-traditional, right? So that's why I said this is
Mhm.
a very like fun, interesting topic, right?
Yeah.
Um, how many families are non-traditional?
Oh, it seemed it seemed like it seemed like traditional families are almost non-existent nowadays. Like you just rarely see it. You see it every now and then. Every now and then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful thing. I'm
Yes.
saying, and that's what I want for my children. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. I think it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah, you know what I mean? So like that, traditional family, it's lovely. It's lovely to see,
It
you
is
know,
lovely to say. It's
and
definitely lovely.
stuff.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I mean, it's like, I don't know, growing up in this society, you know what I mean, it's like, every you get taught that like love is love no matter what, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You
Yep.
know. Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. So they said, so how many families are not traditional? So they said, in fact, 80% of households in the United States have a non-traditional family
Non-traditional.
calendar.
Yep.
80%. 80%.
Yeah. I would have thought it was more.
Listen, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
surprised.
At
Yes.
all.
At all, period.
Yeah.
That what do you call someone who is not traditional? What do you call them? You know how they say they call somebody traditional. What do you call somebody that's not traditional? They said unconventional,
Unconventional. Yeah.
modern,
Modern.
liberal,
Hmm.
progressive.
I like progressive.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah. So that's what you consider about being non-traditional. It says, so what is considered a traditional person? So we said a traditional mindset, traditional woman, a traditional person refers to older methods and ideas or prefer the modern ones.
Yeah, that's
Ideas.
what I said. It sounds like old fashioned.
Old fashioned, older
Yeah.
modern.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a one piece swimsuit.
Yes.
Instead of a bikini.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So they said, so like that's like being traditionally minded. So let me get my words right. Traditionally minded people tend to be organized, respectful of authority. They believe in clear good and evil perimeters. They uphold moral values and they tend to be more certain about their sexual identity and their gender roles.
Yeah.
That's a minded person. Okay. Now let's just decide for that one. Okay, I could uphold their moral values. Okay. That certain about their sexual identity. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The gender roles.
Right.
That's kind of like a half a half. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm definitely flexible.
Definitely flexible. And they said, so like some non-traditional examples, like riding a unicycle to school, right? It's a non-traditional form of transportation. So true. I have a coworker that she drives her unicycle to work every day.
Really?
Yes, she does. Yep. Not traditional way of getting to work, right? Tradition is the passing on of beliefs and rules through the generations. People or things that don't follow these traditions, instead inventing new ways of that are non-traditional.
Yeah. I love new ways. You know what I mean? It's inventive.
Yeah, it's very inventive. Yes.
You know what I mean? It's clever. It's resourceful. You know. You know what I'm saying? You know, to be able to like, you know, break traditions and think outside of the box.
Outside of the box. Yep. They said, so where are the disadvantages of tradition? It's important to remember that there are some disadvantages to valuing your traditions too heavily.
Oh, I can see that.
Yes. They said such as outdated practices, stagnation, and us versus them.
Yes.
Like friction between family members and feeling stuck in the past.
Oh yeah.
That's the disadvantage of being true traditional.
Right. And you know, sometimes you see like, you know, them families is like every time they get together, they arguing, they talking about old stuff from the past or, you know, different things and stuff like that. And it seems like that kind of be like they thing that they do every time they get together. You know.
Together. Right.
Instead of being stuck in the past, you know, not being progressive enough to know how to move forward.
Exactly. So somebody in chat says, "Go wash dishes." Yeah, that's traditional. I wash dishes all the time, just because
Mhm.
I used to, and I want a clean house and a clean kitchen. Okay,
Exactly.
so that's a personal preference. Going to wash the dishes, like I don't play that having dishes in my sink. Never have, never will.
I know that's
Okay,
right.
so in that sense, I can be very traditional. Okay. Oh, and it says, so finally, is being traditional a good thing?
Mhm.
A good thing. So tradition contributes a sense of comfort and belonging.
Mhm.
Traditional. It brings together and enables people to reconnect with friends. Tradition reinforces values such as freedom, faith, integrity, and good education. So, yeah, pretty much you're selfless. So, is it being a good thing? Is it a good thing to be traditional? I think so.
I think so. Mhm.
I think so. So,
Yeah.
so the moral to the story is that it is ways to be traditional and non-traditional, which
Mhm.
I believe I'm a little bit of both. And we just
Mhm.
kind of broke down the examples of traditional and non-traditional, which are very interesting. Like very interesting, you know. It all depends on like your beliefs, what you value, you know,
Mhm.
your way of life. Like what do you consider most important, and what is not as important and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, very
Yeah, I think
very.
it's good to have traditions.
It is. Yeah,
Mhm.
good to have traditions and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that was very interesting for me, like traditional versus non-traditional, right?
Mhm.
To break down like the different meanings of it, and it definitely put a lot more things in perspective for me.
Uh-huh.
Just where I'm at, right? I'm more traditional
Mhm.
or more non-traditional, right?
Right.
Definitely put a lot more things in perspective for me, right? So it's like, yeah, so for our audience today, it's like, yeah, like, where do you see yourself? Like, are you consider yourself more traditional or not traditional or both? Because
How
it's
about
no
that?
problem. Because I definitely identify with both. I definitely
Mm,
identify with
me
things.
too.
Yeah, sure. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like I'm more traditional than I thought.
yeah, me too. Me
Right?
too. Yes, that's what they just like, wow, wow.
Mhm.
I definitely am. I definitely am.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
guess it's not really a bad thing to be traditional in a lot of
Not at
ways.
all.
It's not a bad thing, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I can own it and embrace it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
I think
yes,
I'm about
yes.
to be like, okay, I'm a traditional woman.
Right, right. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
That was fun breaking it down. The different examples of it and with the
Word
actual.
up. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was fun for me. That was fun. That was
Mhm.
fun. Yeah, but that has been our topic for today.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Look, the
appreciate
sun
my
going down.
yeah, I appreciate my sister Janae, guys, like for pushing
Yeah.
through and being
Yeah.
here, even though she wasn't feeling that well. Hello, hello. Yes, yeah. Um, but it has been fun bringing this topic to you guys today. You
Yeah.
could have been anywhere today on these YouTube streets, but you chose to be on our live today, and for that
Yeah.
we are grateful. It is all love, all love,
Yeah.
all love.
Do, 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 do,
Yes,
do.
yes. We do this every Sunday. And this is your vibe. We would love for you to continue to join in. Hit that like button if you have not
Mhm.
already. Subscribe. I'm TV's Life. That's Janae from Artistic Healing Expressions.
Hey.
Channel out. She all about the healing energy,
Yeah.
holistic. Yes. She'll get you right, right. I know
Right.
she's going through her little bout, but it is something going around. I think everybody got a little taste of it. Like I already
Yes.
showed you my little power tea, my little concoctions. If you go to the beginning of this live, I'll show you what I put in my tea to try to knock out some of what's going on. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Maybe I would say maybe you can put it in the comments too.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
my knockout tea, right? Try to help whatever's going on, like that you're not feeling too down and kind of out of sorts. So
Right.
it's definitely helping me keep moving, and it's bringing whatever's going on in here. It's trying to pull it up wherever. So I'm grateful.
Mhm.
You know, to be able to use like different techniques to try to make it work. Instead of doing your typical going to get buying the cold medicines with all the chemicals and all these
Mhm.
that. So
Yes, when
doing
it comes to health, I'm very non-traditional.
after this, like doing a lot of different alternatives. Yes, 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 yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, we get together on Sundays at 3 o'clock. And I always say, you never know what we're gonna talk about. You never know what we're
Yes.
gonna yes, 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 yes. You can
Yeah.
tune in to us next Sunday at 3 o'clock. And
Yes.
always, if you have not done anything for yourself today, please do something for you. All right.
Mhm.
Until next time,
Until next time.
cheers. Have a good one.
Yes. Peace.
Bye.